Hello and welcome to the Runnerhub game of Runway, Runaway. I am Bamce. I'm going to be your GM. I'm joined by a bunch of people that we'll get into in just a moment as we go through the normal intro type stuff. Um, which we're going to go right into. I guess I don't really have anything else to say to get things going. So you
I
guys are
thought we
all.
were actually. You were told us that we weren't going to say hello and welcome.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
You weren't going to. I was gonna.
Uh-huh.
I probably actually need to boost your sound because you guys
Uh-huh.
probably come by way quieter on the recording than I do because I had my sound tweaked.
hmm Also, having the microphone in your mouth also makes a difference too.
It is a delicious microphone, I'll have you know.
Yeah, that's why he keeps dipping in caramel every time.
So
Personally, I love my Blue Yeti.
hmm
you guys were given the instructions to meet with a Mr. Johnson or a Miss Johnson, as the case may be, given how the message was delivered, at a location down in Puyallup. A cursory GPS Google map will show you that it is a not exactly great part of Puyallup. The buildings are usually abandoned, and its actual location is a warehouse. The time of day that the meet is set up for is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys are more than welcome to make whatever notes you wish to all over the whiteboard of my table, and I encourage you to do so because that means I don't have to do it. Um, Starting from left to right, we're going to go through and get a brief description what time you guys are looking to get there, how you're getting there, and if there's anything fancy you want to do before we get there. So we'll start with Crane.
So Crane, who originally looks like a rather normal size Atlantean elf, usually has red hair. However, she's been told to come over here some time ahead, so she's going to take about a good 2 to 3 hours to do her makeup and look like someone else before she goes down there and get inside there with her jackrabbits while wearing her nice suit and making sure she's going to get there right about 3 minutes before the actual meet and not anyone around.
Sure. Do you want to roll a
So
disguise roll, or is it just making sure you're
uh,
pretty?
I'm going to do the disguise roll. Just trying to. I forgot. I have a disguise shop. Don't ask me why I did that. I just did.
I did too. Nice.
So that you can look
So
fabulous together.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I had a reason, but
Sure. And while you're, man, you do look fabulous today.
hmm So yeah, I'm
eh,
going down
yeah.
there about. I'm going to get there and try to time it so I'll be there 5 minutes ahead. Walk in the door about 2 minutes before.
Sure. Stygian.
Stygian is about 6'2". He has close cropped black hair. He looks really, if you look at him, he's really young. You can look at his hands and they look like they're very soft. Like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like he's just started this idea he has, and it looks like he's kind of a pushover. Like a businessman, I suppose. I'm gonna get there more or less on time. Not gonna do anything super fancy right now because I didn't have a quality I thought I had. I'm gonna take uh, my bike. Yes, let's not make
Sure.
anything crazy yet.
Mason.
So Mason has gotten a call from dispatch apparently that he needs to report into Puyallup to pick up someone named Johnson. So I suppose we'll turn the lamp on because that way I don't get pulled over by anyone else and don't get accused of not hauling him down there. And we'll try and arrive at whatever time I was scheduled to pick him up. We'll be leaving, I'm assuming, from wherever I dropped the last fare off at. Mason normally looks about or wears the same outfit. He looks like a limo driver, but he drives a cab. He's got the little hat, the incredibly nice suit, cost him almost 2.5 grand. He's very proud of it, and a nice set of shoes. He is a very, very, very dark-skinned individual, and he looks like he has gotten just past the point of being able to still call himself youthful by any means. And he has about a 2.5 inch afro.
I see.
Oh,
Impressive.
This is more cushion when you fall down.
Right.
on your head.
I'm really hoping that your inspiration was the limo driver from Die Hard.
It was.
Excellent. That makes me
Nice.
warm and fuzzy. Um, Stoner.
Well, Stoner's a human, about 6'3", long blonde hair past his shoulders, a full beard, full mustache normally. Um, he's going to arrive about 15 minutes early, but before he goes, since I think this is Fashion Week or something, he's going to go ahead and change his normal grungy stuff into something a little bit nicer and give himself a makeover with, clean shaven face and, well done, well coiffed hair.
Make yourself look fabulous, darling.
Hmm.
Um,
You want me to roll that on fashion and makeover, or just go with it?
you can if you want. You cannot if you don't want. It doesn't make a whole lot of
Alright.
difference to me.
Yeah.
And then finally, Psych, who's working on mastering the push to talk because they are still muted.
Damn it, Skype. Okay. Hi. So, Psychedel is is a 5'7" elf from Tournenog by way of France. She's gonna arrive probably 10 minutes before the meet starts, and she's just dressed in her standard Berwick suit and Argentum coat. Nothing special.
And you are arriving in a vehicle of some size, I imagine.
Yes. She's driving her Nissan Hauler, which just looks like kind of a. It's got chameleon colors, so it could look like whatever is suitable, maybe a flower delivery van or something like that.
Well, it is Plylup, so there's a distinct lack of flowers in this area.
Whatever would be suitable for the area, the car looks like that.
So it's flying some
rust.
kind of gang colors and rust and bullet holes. Gotcha.
Yes, exactly.
7 different colors. You can probably fly through so many different areas and not get flagged. Oh, that's the flag of the Hellhounds. Oh, that's the flag of the 6162s. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the hell?
So you guys are all arriving pretty much on time. It's not exactly a nice area. It has that wonderful Barrens feel of desolation and nobody really around here. As you approach the building, it is a warehouse that has a large truck entrance door that there is a ridiculously muscled orc standing outside of. And he will see you guys as you pull up in your various vehicles outside. And you guys, as you're arriving more or less about the same amount of time, are you going to look around, see that you people are well-dressed in a place where well-dressed people don't usually hang out?
Must be important.
It must be important, or you're all Shadowrunners here to do a thing that is illegal.
Whoa. Let's not jump to conclusions.
That's all I can do is jump to conclusions. Psych, you said you were showing up about 10 minutes early. Is there anything you wanted to do, or do you just want to kind of check the place out?
She's just showing up early, make sure she has kind of the lay of the land. She will deploy both of her roto drones and have them just kind of tuck themselves on top of the building's roof.
Sure.
Just in case things go south and she needs a little covering fire, she gets away.
The orc will kind of give them the eyeball of the all right, as they go up on top of the roof, and he will do the time-honored tradition of checking his wrist when you guys are all kind of hanging out outside here, in your vehicles. Is anybody approaching him? Do you guys want to talk to each other beforehand? You do have the power of plot convenience to recognize each other as the people you are most likely going to be working with.
Right.
It's like
So-
there's another well-dressed man. Oh.
His Crane's going to look at Sigina real quick. Give the head nod, and to
Mhm.
everyone there.
Of
Let's go
course.
walk up to the orc. Looks down at a watch. Mrs. Johnson here.
He'll give you a slow, meaty nod with his neck bulging full of muscles, and step to the side, grab the side of the large rolling door, and begin to lift it up with his bare hands.
Crane is going to pull out her comlink, which is sending the security tag in her card to make sure that it's on, and puts it back in. Nods to the orc, walks on.
He's going to continue to hold up the rolling door, waiting for the rest of you guys to make your decisions, as it were.
Oh, well,
Psychedel will head on in with a nod to the orc as well as she locks her car with a chirp.
Beep beep.
Nice.
Well, Stoner, go ahead and head on in. Evening, friend. How's it going?
The orc gives you a guttural as he looks upon you with eyes that have probably seen too much hardware.
Well, good to hear.
He's definitely got that whole huge amounts of cyber uncanny valley that you are probably fairly used to seeing in a lot of street samurai. And then as everybody goes in, it is a mostly open warehouse. It was probably used for storage back in the day before the barons had claimed it for their own. There is a small table set up that has a glass of some brown liquid upon it with a folding chair set up next to it. There is a couple of other chairs in the area that are set up around for you guys to make use of. Coming out from the back as you come in will be a elven woman. Looks to be in that obnoxious Forever 23 age group that elves are often cursed with those good looks.
Cursed, you mean blessed.
Right? Depends upon whether or not you're an elf, I guess. She will be approaching the team, pulling out a small bottle of hand sanitizer and, doing the hand sanitizing things, beaming you guys with a large smile as she comes over, puts a napkin on top of the chair that is sitting next to her, the glass of brown liquid, and she will sit and motion for the rest of you guys to sit. What were you looking to find with your matrix perception?
Tags, mostly. See brown liquid. Don't want to drink it.
Well, it is only a singular glass,
Oh,
so
understood.
it's not like it's something offered to everybody else.
Understood.
You'll see the stuff that is not on running silent that your teammates have, probably just their comm links and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
She has a comm link on her. There is a couple of appliances that are in the area of the building, but it's all like normal household stuff. And there isn't a huge amount of it, but
Nothing screaming, oh, here's something that you can definitely check.
nothing screaming smart link pointed at my head.
Yep. Crane's going to look at the Johnson as she, cleans the chair real quick. Crane's actually going to take pull out of her back pocket what seems to be the standard napkin, just kind of wipe the chair real quick and sit down.
You'll notice that the chairs don't actually look like as bad as the rest of the area. They are reasonably clean, but
Right, but when the Johnson starts noticing stuff is dirty, you want to give the appearance of being clean yourself.
Ooh.
you could.
So you could, and I'm trying to.
So as everybody sits up, she'll kind of lose that smile a little bit. It's like, well, I thank you all for coming. We are pleased to make your acquaintance. Can I have one of my boys get you all anything?
Do you have a
Shake
bottle
my
of
head.
water?
Yeah, she will nod ever so slightly. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll take
Water,
a sweat
please.
cap.
Sure. And then she will eyes unfocus for a moment, as one does when they are doing things in AR. And it'll be just a moment, and in the background you can hear the grounding, not grounding, I'm sorry, the grinding noise of a soy calf machine, which is not one of the matrix devices that Crane noticed with her matrix perception roll.
No, that actually makes sense. They're grounding into it because the orc is just punching it into the table.
He's got it in between his knuckles and his palm, and just
Yep.
So I have had a job cross my desk that I need some outside assistance to complete. As you'll see, my normal employees aren't exactly up to something of this caliber, as you'll hear a coughing, hacking sound from the orc that lifted the doorman, as you would.
Okay.
They're not the most subtle of folks with the delicate touches that this job will require. I need you to bring me a person of interest to me, and that's really all that is important, I suppose. And giving you guys a wide smile, she's gonna turn around and does anybody, let's say, speak German?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
9.
Nope.
All right, she's gonna yell something out in what is potentially German, just a real short thing, and you'll hear a short male voice respond back something else in German. you folks don't have any emotional hang-ups about a little recruitment, do you?
For recruitment, no. Murder, nah, not too much of a difference at this point in time.
She does
As
that.
Crane, cause,
God.
as Crane kind of gives the soft smile.
Anybody else have anything they want to kick in on that statement? As she asks whether or not you're cool with kidnapping people.
Did she did she imply murder? I
She has
didn't
not
get
implied murder yet.
that.
She
Okay.
has implied
I don't see
kidnapping so
anything
far.
then yet.
Yeah.
Psychedelic
Well, ma'am, I am
says,
an enthusiastic recruiter, and I look forward to helping you add to your stable of individuals.
It's like you had something you were about to say.
Psychedelic just says that extraction is perfectly acceptable.
Fabulous. I am pleased to hear that. A cold body does nobody any good. Am I right?
Yes, you are, ma'am.
Absolutely
Unless
no.
you're a ghoul, you're absolutely correct.
She will give you a large smile. Very, very true. Around that time, an Asian man, also an elf, will come out of the back carrying a small tray. Looks more like it was a hubcap rather than an actual serving tray. On top of it will be your soy water and a soy calf of some kind and the other little incidentals that you guys may have asked for.
Mhm.
Um,
Soy, water. Okay.
Yes.
I
Soy
assume
and
that in the
water.
sixth world everything is made out of soy, hence soy water.
Why would water be made out of soy, though?
That's a good question. It is
Flavoring
filtered
Scott
through
would-
soy.
Well, they
There
have
you go.
coconut
No
water. Why wouldn't
questions?
they have soy water?
Right?
It's like powdered soy and you mix it.
And he
Seems
will
to kind of defeat the purpose.
So-
distribute those drinks and go back to stand at the Johnson side.
I say thank you.
The delicate part of this job is that the person I am looking to recruit is, well, not going to be in town for very long and is going to be in one of the nicer sections of town while she stays here. That's where
Okay.
my boys tend to have a little bit of a problem. They're a little bit easy to recognize as the orc that you had seen has got huge muscles. The Asian elf man who came out has like pretty good sized cyber arms on him. The fingers will actually dislocate a little bit and just kind of wiggle free as per snake fingers.
So we need a much more of a softer approach. Understood.
Yes, yes.
That's okay.
That's no issue with it. Now, if we were to get more information of the target itself, we will probably give you a better idea of what the cost will be to recruit this person.
Right down to the details. I see. That is wonderful. So
There's a head nod.
she will pull a data chip out of her pocket and put it on the table next to her and kind of wipe her hand off as she returns to her seated position.
Crane is going to go in AR at this point in time, unfocus, offer DNI to the rest of the group, and pick up the data chip and insert it into a comm link to give to everybody to see.
So the information on the data chip consists of a picture of a young elven woman, very, very beautiful. It has a hotel that is located in, as I try and get a nice big picture here so that I can see the actual area.
Mhm.
I don't know why I Google Shadowrun maps. I should just use the one on the hub sidebar. Makes things way easier.
Yeah.
Map of Seattle and districts. And now it's just got to load. Okay.
Do, 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 do.
Nope, too far. Oh god, ruining everything.
Elf lady in Hotel Inn.
Yes.
Mhm.
She will be in. No, not Bellevue. Sorry.
We're assuming an A to AAA security location.
Yeah, that's the short of it. But I'm trying to
Yeah.
find the actual one I wanted. Awkward.
Mhm.
I think sections of Tacoma area, or at least
Tacoma area? Wow. Okay. So
according to the map on the sidebar here.
understood. So how long would the target will be here?
In game, it is currently, let's say, Thursday. They will be here through the weekend as they are putting on a fashion show. It is a Horizon Evo co-opted thing from like one of their lower area subsidiaries. They are doing the focus is on unaugmented, mundane, like lines, so that all of the models are going to be on the no cyberware, no bioware, no magically enhanced, to emphasize the naturality of what metahumans can aspire to,
That's good.
as opposed.
What's do we know about Tacoma? Is it common knowledge?
There's a lot of
Probably
stuff
look
about
it up.
Tacoma that is fairly not common knowledge. What were you specifically asking about with it?
I don't know anything about it, character.
Okay. There's a bunch of docks that are in Tacoma.
Okay.
That is its kind of big claim to fame, as it were. There are some areas of it that are in the AA zone. As I screw this up even worse.
AA zone.
Yeah.
Security.
Is that like
This
high
means-
class? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Higher
security.
security, right? Okay.
Basically, we have panic buttons on almost every corner.
That's not good.
There's also a couple sections of it that looks like they're AAA as well.
Yeah.
It means we got extra security there. So
That's only near Ruston and Menlo Park on the map. So
Yeah. This will go with, let's say, because I have no idea where an actual cruise ship would leave from. I don't imagine it's the actual shipping docks, but that's not super important.
actually, that's more or less where a cruise ship would leave from. It's just kind of anywhere in that sort of Commencement Bay area.
Excellent. That works out for me then. So the hotel is in the Lakewood area. It is a decent sized hotel. It has a large ballroom, which is where the actual fashion show is going to be taking place. There's going to be news and employees of the show there, and other models, and all of a bunch of people. And when you have the people that your Johnson seems to employ, they're going to stand out compared to the people there, which is why she is hiring you. I am willing to pay a subcontractor fee for this job of, she'll roll her head back and forth a little bit, 17,000 new yen.
Crane will look across everyone here and wondering which one's the face. Who here has the better chance of talking?
Not gonna be me.
I can do that, I suppose.
Well, you've been awfully quiet, Mr. Wannabe Face.
Well, I know. I mean, we've had Crane here just doing such a wonderful job. I didn't want to interrupt him, you know.
Crane will look at Mason real quick. Here's the thing: we may want to ask for at least some sort of upfront fee, along with a standardized. What's the name of that thing? Escrow. To ensure that makes that sure to ensure that payments will be delivered on time.
Well, this doesn't sound like too difficult of a task for us to be able to perform. I do have to go with the idea of, since we have such a short time frame to be able to operate with, we may not be able to raise all the capital that we'll need on our end on short notice to make sure this job goes off without a hitch. So let's say we go with, or put up some of our expenses, of course, anyways. How about you give us 5,000 each up front, and we, since we're of course going to be eating some additional expenses past that anyways, we'll kick that up to say 20,000 each. Sound about right?
To ensure that the proper chances also been on hold, the escrow services will probably help us. to ensure that both our fees and your fees are still within intact.
Yeah, escrow comes next though. Usually, first you got to get him to give you the number.
No one, yeah, definitely understood. But we can definitely put the escrow fee on her behest.
So you guys can go ahead and roll your assisted teamwork stuff.
3 successes.
3.
Yes.
Which skill are we rolling?
If
I'm
you
Negotiation.
got,
rolling negotiation.
you got to chime in to help though.
I already have.
Oh, I know that one. You've been doing very well.
I think we're the only 2 that actually has negotiation.
Fair enough then. So I got 3 bonus dice, right?
Yep.
Yes. Up to you. You want to blow edge or not?
Why not? I got.
Whew. Nicely done, sir. So she'll listen to you kind of go back and forth on the details and stuff, and you see her face will go through a different range of emotions as she kind of.
Well, it's like I thought. We're gonna have to kick the price up a little bit here for the short time frame. I thought that was legit. We need some kind of advance to work with it.
Oh no, my money! She's gonna do some of that AR calculations. You'll see that the guy that came out to serve you on the hubcap is kind of drooping a little bit, like oh. And she'll come back with a simple, well, you folks do bring up a couple of points. However, most of this is why we are looking to hire you folks. So what we will do is we will give you the money up front that you had asked for. I believe it was 3,000.
5.
I believe the number of discussion was 5,000 ahead up front,
Oh.
but 3,000 can work.
No, 5,000 is fine. I'm sorry. I have a lot of people talking to me at the moment.
We understand. We'll let you finish your conversation before we finish ours.
Oh, that is
Most
mighty,
definitively.
mighty gracious of you, young lady. And
Oh boy, I think Crane's gonna look at her real quick and say, "I think we're both the same age."
so we will give you the 5,000 up front, and I suppose I can raid the cookie jar, as it were, to get the rest of the new unit you folks do desire. However, I will insist that no physical harm comes to our new recruit. Chemical restraints are okay as long as she arrives intact and unmarked.
Intact and unmarked is quite doable. And we do, of course, have some means of an escrow account set up for this. I'm sure you sound like you're a professional at this as well, ma'am. So let's get that acquired real fast, and we'll trade whatever info we need to for that one.
She will not exactly look happy about the idea of setting up escrow, because that is, should things go horribly wrong, a situation that she is still out some money. But so what was your psychology looking for?
Essentially, is how basically like how fucked is she with the cash flow on this one? Sounds like we ate way too much of this, that she might come back after us.
I don't want to say that she looks like super vengeful, that she's going to try and screw you guys over on the back end of it, especially because
it looks like we did a good job of saying this is the cost and how it will be done.
She, as always, prefers to keep as much of their own nuyen to themselves. So their bottom line for whatever they are getting paid for their side of things is going to be cut into a little bit here by you guys taking 15,000 extra off of them, throughout everybody. But yeah, she will motion to the Asian man and say something in what sounds like German, and he will reach into his pocket and pull out some cred sticks, and he will distribute them to each of you, and you can go ahead and mark down your advance that you have received.
That was an
And-
advance of 3 or 5K
5.
each.
5.
So
5,000 up front.
I know stuff is going to go. No, I have a feeling stuff is going to go bad, but let's go do it.
No, how could it? I mean, it seems easy.
Everything always seems easy.
Yeah.
Can't possibly
seems.
be difficult at all.
So she's a model for this fashion show that's in town.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a date to bring her in.
When you have her, you may give me a call on this comlink number that is on the data chip.
Definitely, I'll take note of that. Thank you.
Do you folks have any questions, or shall I just let you all get to it? I wouldn't want to.
Would you happen to have anything? Would you happen to have any info on the lady and who's our escorts at this point in time?
As for her escorts, I do not know. With the corporate involvement, it will most assuredly be one or the other. She usually works with Horizon, given as Evo has all of that wonderful transhumanist things that they like to do with their augmentations and their changelings and their everything else.
Understood.
And of course, we want her intact. I'm just going over everything here, kind of like out of character, make sure I got it all. We want her intact and unharmed. She said,
Not even a scratch on her.
yeah, not a scratch on her. I'm pretty sure she's kind of iffy on if we drug her, but she didn't say she was directly against that.
That implies she may not want to come as well, which is
Right.
obvious.
Yeah.
Just want to point out.
We've got 72 hours to get her, and she's a model for this fashion show. We don't know a whole lot actually about the fashion show or anything else from Johnson here. Anything else we need to try to think of?
Today is Thursday. You have until Sunday to get her out of here.
After we're out of the meeting, we can do stuff. I don't have anything in meeting.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would need to ask the Johnson.
Sure.
I think that's it then.
Are you sure?
She will motion to the overly muscular orc, who will begin to physically lift the roll-up gate on the front of the building. Smile, and as you guys get up to leave, she'll wave goodbye, and Mama wishes you luck.
You have a wonderful
Mama.
day now.
Ooh. Crane's gonna look towards the back real quick and hear Mama. Think about it real quick and say, "Sure thing," and walk back outside. So Crane is going to do a quick no, we'll do that later, but I'm probably going to give a call to my fixer and ask. There's a Johnson we just met up with named Mama. Do you happen to have any background on her that you can get to me real soon? Go ahead and take your time. It's fine by me.
Roll his connection test at +2 because he has time.
Connection or connection plus loyalty?
Connection, hit the normal connection test. Connection
Okay.
to loyalty, and then +2 for having time.
So here's so just a connection +2.
Connection?
Connection times
Is
2
3.
plus loyalty +2.
Okay, so
Oh,
5 successes.
what a weird.
Well, that's what
hold up.
typically. What's your fixer stats, Crane?
She's a 4-3. Oh, I need to roll
So
one more.
11. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so there you
total of
go. I
5.
got 5.
All right. So that'll take a little bit of time.
That's fine.
You guys are now free. It is, let's say, 2:15, 2:30 on a Thursday. You have until Sunday whenever that boat leaves.
So
Where do we
When
want to get together?
so the fashion show is on the boat, right?
The fashion show is in the hotel, but
Okay.
when the fashion show is over, their next step is going onto the cruise ship, where they will have another fashion show out at sea, and basically when that boat begins to move, she is no longer within your grasp, unless you want to, get
Be on
onto the cruise ship and try and steal a lifeboat and get back to shore with her,
That's
which
fine.
we can do. I'm not
I'm
opposed to.
going to vocally say that that's probably the worst idea.
Yeah, no, we already know.
Yeah.
But Crane's gonna look at everyone in here. Shadowrun bar. There's a runner's bar around this area inside here. Or you want to go to a high class bar?
Doesn't matter to me. We just talked about the job.
Runner's bar it is.
Anything
We'll find a
fancy.
runner's bar inside Tacoma. Go inside there and get the back room if you can.
You guys can also just park somewhere and pile in my cab. I've turned the meter on, but you can get in a cab.
You know what?
Before-
Screw that. I'll do that. I'll send as soon as we get out of Puyallup, Crane's going to send her car on what's the name? On Grid Guide to send it back home. And pile inside the taxi.
Sure.
Crane's going to start doing a search on the we're going to start doing an in-depth search on the runway and anything that might pertain to security design.
I want to contact my fixer before we even leave for the bar because it might take time.
Yep.
As my fixer is a higher profile psychologist. At least it's how I wrote him. See if he knows anybody. I very much doubt that he has dealt with the runway girl, whatever her name is. Did we learn her name? No.
Yeah, her name is Catherine E.
Catherine
Tilton.
Tillotson.
I see it. See if he's run into that name, maybe through other clients.
Sekadel is going to not be in the cab. She's going to instead pile her drones back into her car and follow at a reasonable distance.
Sure.
So she'll probably DNI link into the meeting so she can discuss with the rest.
Okay.
You can go ahead and make your psychologist roll and that kind of stuff. And
I don't know what the role is, sorry.
connection times 2 plus loyalty. That's your fairly standard hub contact connection test. And if you want to start rolling your computer searches, you can do that as well. See, he's a psychologist, eh? And you're asking if he's come across.
Yeah. So again, this is obviously bluff, so take it as you will. He was made into a psychiatrist for higher profile people, actors, actresses, stuff like that, businessmen. So again, I doubt he's actually dealt specifically with her, unless I got really lucky. But maybe he just knows about it. Knows about her.
So the information he has is that she is not from Seattle, so he and his immediate colleagues wouldn't actually work with her. She is from out of town, so.
Okay.
What
So it's
interval
just
were you doing those searches on, by the way, Crane?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I was basically taking like in-depth searches on this one, not the 12-hour. Do the oh shit. What I meant to say is this. Crane is going to look at the Broadway show on the Runaway show and get all that information as much as she can. So she'll probably do the second layer review.
Okay.
And then take the information off the security if possible on the hotel, and on the hotel itself after that.
Sure. So let me just get to a place in the book real quick.
So you're just looking up the runway, aspect, like how it's run and when it's running, or are you looking up Catherine as well?
Her too.
Okay, so all right, you got that then. I was gonna, depending on how popular she is, obviously the easier the information. But I don't know.
Yep. So that'll take you a little bit of time to go through and search. Mason, Stoner, or Psych, what are you guys up to?
My first thought is to call the CIC.
I have no idea what a CIC is.
The CIC is the Central Intelligence Corporation. It is a group on the Matrix that I completely made up, but
Nice.
they're an info broking group. One of the best info broking services on the tricks. They are in the business of data collection, running with the idea that any data is valuable to somebody, and that somebody will pay if they can find, or will pay for it. Assuming someone does pay for it, you, the uploader, then get a payment. I currently enjoy trusted uploader status.
Sounds kind of cool.
So go ahead and you can roll them out.
So out of character, I just realized that I forgot to buy ammo for my taser.
That's fine. All right, so you got 3 hits on your. And
Just
what were you
pretend.
asking your trusted uploader status?
I'm pulling the CIC for anything I can get specifically off of Catherine. If they don't have nothing on that, I can't ask them for nothing else. There's nothing on their system. But
Sure. And how much do they usually charge for the information that you wish to download?
I have never actually thought that far in to figure it out. I assume it would probably be based on how valuable the information is supposed to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like 400 or 500 new yen a hit. I mean, they take any kind of data.
Sure.
That
So
sounds interesting. 200.
um, yeah, so they'll charge you 250 million a hit because she's
Okay.
not exactly um, a high profile security, hard to get information on person. The initial information you get is going to be based upon her me feed, which is very obviously a corporate curated me feed. It has a lot of things that are, here's me at my most recent shoot showcasing link to corporate outfit I was wearing.
Right, yeah, it's totally bots.
Here I am having had my makeup done by makeup artist associated with Horizon.
Right, yeah. Just
Um,
bot stuff.
so that is most of it. You will see a couple of posts on there that are no longer on her me feed page, but had been posted there and screen capped and have since been deleted, of things like, met her in person, she's a bitch. And pulling a little bit more of the information you get out of it, you will hear that a lot of the other people that she works with, she is very two-faced with. Everybody is like, oh, nice, happy, glad handing, all of that kind of stuff. But then a lot of manipulative double talk behind basically everybody's back at all times. That being said, nobody is really willing it's not to the level where somebody is going to do something about it, because the people that she is interacting with on the regular are also Horizon models and such. So if you get in a fight with another model, it's going to hurt your contract, especially when she is one of the upper echelon within her tier, I guess, of models. Like, there's going to be,
She's a lightweight.
not necessarily, but like there are models that are very much into the cyber showing off of things. Like, they'll have a
Sure.
modular shoulder implant. It's like, here they are wearing the new Ares whatever number model cyber arm, and then they'll have that ripped off and attached to a different one to show off other things. She is one of the higher up in the mundane unaugmented field, to the point where she got in a car accident a couple of years ago, and there was a lot of, let's call it, drama, as much as one can have a drama when you're a total bitch, about the care that she was receiving, and now the extra work that the makeup folks have to go through to kind of cover up the little bit of scarring that she has on her arm from that instance. There's a lawsuit to Dockwagon about the effectiveness of the immediate, like, magical healing that resulted in the actual scarring. Stoner and Psych, what do you guys want to do real quick?
Well, I just think that based on the extractions that I've done before, we're all starting to run around like chickens with their heads cut off. And if we all keep doing different things in different directions, we're going to end up 72 hours later unable to organize a gangbang in a whorehouse. So I figure we ought to get together, figure out how we're going to approach it, and then split off into what we're good at. For example, we need to get eyes on, find the target, see what her schedule is. Once we see the schedule and how many people are watching her and what's going on, that'll show us opportunities. Does she go clubbing at night? Or would we be able to grab her in a van, throw her in, and get out easy? Is she staying inside the hotel, which means we need to infiltrate that? What sort of things do we have opportunities for? Do we have to look at becoming guards of the show? Is that an opportunity we have? But right now, everybody's kind of doing their own thing. I think we need to kind of come together, figure out who can do what, and start working it from that direction. That's just my personal opinion.
I think we were all at the except for we were all at the bar.
That's where you guys were all headed, and it's some of
And
the
then
stuff
we were.
you guys
I
were
think we
doing.
were mainly waiting on Crane's stuff to come back.
Well, here's the thing. Crane also has the support of an agent to at least do without, so she can at least talk while you guys are doing all this work too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really going into the 6 hour. I wasn't really going into the 6 hour in depth thing. I was going more into like the 2 to 3.
Yep.
So
But, like,
Crane's yeah.
What should we call
Like
it?
today's information gathering.
Mason
guess
was
let's-
very easy to call up a dude, pay some money, get a data packet. That was the data packet that is distributed. I will come
Right.
back to Crane in a minute with some more information.
Right.
Psych, did you have anybody you wanted to call, or?
The only thing that Psych needs to do right away is stop by the gun store and pick up some spare ammo for her taser because she left it at home.
Sure, you are more than able to do that. You will get a.
I like it
80
better if you
million.
just didn't forget. You just did it.
It's just for
And
show.
just pretend you did it.
I'm definitely with like out of character. I'm definitely with Stoner's player on the fact that we need to sit down and plot and figure out what do. So I would say we probably arrive at the bar at some point.
Well, I think even
Yes,
though
I s-
we did a little bit of this already, I think some measure of introductions are in order too. Like,
Fair enough.
what can we do? Let's put it that way. I drive a cab and I know people.
So,
like,
random question in just general, like whenever you go on a run, do you get like a dossier of like each of the characters, or is that not standard protocol?
It's not really standard
Not.
protocol.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't know if you had
That's
like
kinda what I
resumes.
was-
Hey, here.
yeah,
This is
that's
what
kinda
I
was
do.
pulling there.
you
Then
pro-
yes, I agree.
Do you have any shadow community knowledge stuff?
I'm going.
Yes.
Talking to me? Are you talking?
Yeah, I was talking to you specifically, just because I know Crane has a fair amount of street cred, so you would probably know her by name and a little bit of what she does.
No.
But you guys
I
can
am
totally
super
get
green. I am the
Oh.
greenest thing ever.
excellent.
She's
You guys
an
were going
Xbox.
to a bar
I went to
in.
college and shit.
You guys are going to a bar in Puyallup, or do you want to go to
Tacoma,
We're
Tacoma?
going to
Outs-
the last.
outside of Puyallup if possible.
Okay, what is it just a runner bar, or is it got a theme to it?
A runner bar, something where they do not like to ask questions; they just
Hey.
let things go.
I agree with this.
Sure.
We can walk in. It doesn't matter.
It is early in the afternoon, about probably 3 o'clock or so when you guys actually get there, so there's not a whole lot of people there. Crane is not exactly paying attention to what's going around because, data searching.
Crane will go up to the bartender, ask for the back room, pay the bartender, ask for a couple of soy beers and some bottled waters.
And he will
And-
gladly
Yeah.
produce them for you.
Sausages. He absolutely needs sausages.
Yes.
So we'll get you a
Crane-
couple
yeah.
little bags of the sausage snacks off the end cap.
Yeah.
Hand them off to you guys, and
Crane will send a DNI to everybody with the data, with the maglock key to get inside there.
it'll
Okay.
be It'll be a storage room that conveniently has a folding card table and a couple of folding chairs in it that you guys can do things. You'll notice that as you close the door, you don't hear much coming from outside.
Crane will look across and see it is insulated, and none of the tags inside here are activated, so there's no surveillance. Crane will do the head nod and continue searching.
Sure. So you guys are all in a tiny room doing planning illegal things, not really doing illegal things yet.
Crane
And
will
this
look
is
at.
like,
So.
sorry. Good.
So I'm imagining that the person out there is kind of saying we should introduce ourselves, and Crane will just do it right away. My name is Crane. I'm your decker at this point in time. I'm just trying to get more information of the host and everything around that hotel.
Okay.
As she looks down on the bottom right hand side of her eye where the clock would be at. Give me, however, this much GM hours will take, and I will get you more information.
Cool.
Okay. I'm Psychedel. I'm rigor, combat support, surveillance, whatever you need doing, I can get it done.
Okay. You got big drones or little drones?
Yes.
Good answer.
Both.
Very good answer. So yeah, all I do is drive a cab, and I talk pretty good. But I already got a couple of ideas. I just wanted to see what we had available to us here. How about you? And I'm gonna point over at Stoner there because I don't think he's said nothing on this one yet.
Well, I'm a mystic adept, so I can help a little bit with the magic department, but probably most beneficial to this run is I can change your clothing and I can change your looks and make you look pretty for going undercover. I also do a little bit of social engineering, and I'm not very good in a bar fight.
Okay, but you say you can make things look like other things. Does that work on camera too, or just people?
People. I can change your clothes and I can make you look like you've been to a salon,
Okay. Okay.
which may actually be useful here.
It might, yeah.
That's good to know. I can help with the makeup department so we can take over her makeup team if we need to.
All of these could work. All of these could work. What time is it again, Rob?
It's about 3 o'clock or so.
3 o'clock or so.
Yeah. Looks like it's a 3-day long runway shoot that they do. However, at this much point in time, give me a little bit more options. I'll probably give you a little bit more, and just still clicking on all of her stuff.
Psychedel looks over to Stygian's the only one who hasn't introduced themselves.
Yes.
So Psychedel looks over to Stygian. How about you? What do you do?
I'll just introduce myself as Stygian, say that I have a varying skill set that may come in handy depending on what we run into. Out of character, I have, a lot of different active skills, a lot of different knowledge skills that may come in handy. Kind of like a skill monkey, B-list street Sam, I guess.
Okay.
And this is Stoner. I can also put somebody to sleep pretty quickly. if that, from a distance, if that becomes necessary.
So your handle's spitting.
Ooh.
Yes.
Maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but I think if she's a semi-famous model in her field, that we might be able to get this whole problem solved with a couple of paparazzi.
Definitely look into it.
Well, think about it. If
Well, what?
she's,
Okay.
oh, sorry. Go ahead. Never mind.
I was just gonna ask, before we went into anything specific, did Crane get information back about her?
Crane is about a half hour or so on.
Okay, it's gonna take a little bit more.
Yeah. I need at
Okay.
least like 2 to 3 hours.
That's fine.
Even with the search program, all that stuff. So.
No problem. Okay.
Mhm.
Continue.
No, the paparazzi thing actually sounds like a pretty good idea.
What if she goes club hopping, right?
Right.
Mhm.
She could very well. When's the show? What day?
It's still happening at this point in time. It's just they see the fingers wag even harder.
Oh, is she on at different times? I suppose. I guess throughout the weekend.
Yeah, that's where if we can get a schedule of her appearances, and maybe talk to some folks at the show to see what she does after. We can see where we have different opportunities to bag her.
I don't know if I'm the best to matrix search stuff up, but I feel unless it's a high class, you can just simply look up the event. I'm sure they have some type of schedule when people are going to be out, what they're going to be showing off.
Mm-hmm. Almost there.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm kind of like waiting for.
All right,
for
so
that.
we'll push the scan button for a little bit.
Yeah, the fucking information they'll just dump on us.
Sure. So you had a giant pile of hits, so I'm going to start off naming some things, and then you can ask me some further questions on them, because that was a lot. That's 14.
Yeah.
So the hotel in question, unless you had a pre-arranged room, it has been mostly filled up. Almost all of the staff is on site. The makeup people, the dress people, all of those people are taking up spots in the hotel. There are very few people there that are not associated with the show, including there is some not local reporters that are there with them that are going to go from location to location doing stories on the thing. You'll notice that a lot of those that are involved all have corporate affiliations. Some of the previous fashion show areas were like down near Aslan and the Texan Cass area, kind of like on the border there. There was another shoot that was out on a different cruise ship as they were coming around like the East Coast. You will notice that the secondary aspect of this being the unaugmented / mundane is Evo has kind of put forward some of their nicer on the eyes changeling folks into the show. So there are some of those that are running around that are on the nicer side of being a changeling. Like one model might have feathers, one might have a tail, something along those lines to bring a little bit more awareness. The actual details of how Horizon and Evo were convinced to do this as a joint effort is a little muddied. There's all kinds of conjecture and rumors to what that may have actually been. The plan is they're going to come in from SeaTac at the moment. They are flying up from the Cass area. They're going to go in limo convoy, as it were, from the airport to the hotel. At least the models and the more important people are. The more laymen's of photographers, reporters, that kind of stuff are taking normal taxis and stuff. Everybody has specific badges. They've been outside of the local people that will be invited to go to the event, have all been with the event as it had traveled around. From here, they're going to go on their little cruise, go down the west coast of the continent, hop over to like Hawaii, and then from there they are going to fly out to Japan, China, that area to finish off the tour. What further questions do you guys have?
Well, we have all the information. We know when we absolutely know when the runway is going to happen at this point. At this time will be this. At this time will be that.
You have a little bit of a schedule. You don't have exactly who is going on in what order, but you have a decent idea of when she will be going on throughout the different times, because the previous places that they had have a lot of the same scheduling. They will be getting more local brands, given as they are now in Seattle, for their actual outfits that they will be wearing. And some of that stuff is going to be brought to them now at the hotel. Some of that stuff is things they just haven't shown off yet. I'm not going to make up a bunch of fancy sounding names for alter clothing fashion people.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So here's the thing. So I have all this information. Does anyone else really have anything else you want to add in?
I was curious if she had any any bodyguards or a retinue of people, watching her, watching her hotel room. I'm sure she's staying at the hotel that she's showing off at.
Given as she is kind of a bitch, she
Right.
does have a couple of people that she always works with. They seem to be
Damn it.
on specific contract with Horizon to work with her.
So she has a familiarity with at least some familiarity with all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm bringing up a list of them real quick.
Okay.
Amy Jackson is makeup.
That's
Cecilia Conway is hair. One more.
Where's this
Martha
being
M.
taken?
Morris. You'll see in a second.
Okay.
What would they call a person that helps somebody get dressed? Should be fashion.
Personal attendant.
Okay, that'll work. Personal attendant.
Personal assistant or whatever.
They used to call them personal maids, but I think that's not allowed anymore.
Actually, it would be more
Handmaiden.
like costumer.
We'll go to Game of Thrones. We'll call her a handmaiden.
That's what they are.
Fair enough.
That is what they are. Handmaiden, hair, makeup. Okay, but so no muscle?
There is no surprise, surprise. Mentions of physical security on a thing like this have been removed from easy to find.
Yeah.
Um,
And you can know. I know.
you know her?
I don't know what's being. I know.
Yeah, in real life, I do know her. Actually,
You know
Oh.
a Amy Jackson. You don't
who's
know
a makeup
the.
artist. Yes.
Oh,
Wow,
shit.
that's kind of weird. Given as it
Now
came
we-
off my random name generator.
Now we need to now we need to change the name just because.
Where do you think they get the random names, huh?
Oh no.
All right, but unfortunately, she doesn't normally work with those types of people, so it'd be odd if we inserted ourselves as such. So I don't think
There
that's gonna work
is
out.
some local stuff that you can potentially insert yourself with.
Yeah, we can also, they can also have incidents or accidents that may happen that they cannot be there for the given day.
Right.
So,
First
I
things first, probably
Can
get
we
eyes on her.
grab? I'm sure it wouldn't take too long. Maybe blueprints of the hotel. Maybe shifts. I don't know how fancy this hotel is. Like, could you know hotels? You could just kind of walk in. They don't know you don't have a room there or not.
This is
Is
true.
this
You could.
like this, or
Hey Mason,
it's in the
Yes.
haze out. You said.
does your CIC group have the data package for that hotel?
I can call them and ask. I mean, well, call them, but I mean, I can ask.
Well, so right now, I'll probably be better for you to search because I have a thought that I may want to go into host.
Oh, okay. So you're before we get too far into this,
No, definitely understood. Yes.
right. Let's line up what our options are here, right? We know where she's staying. We know where she's working, right?
Mhm.
How's she getting in between? Do we know that one? Is it the same
I
location?
assume the limo convoy or whatever.
The travel plans that you have thus far are come into town tonight on SeaTac. Important people are being limo convoyed to the hotel. The less important people are being transported more normally. The show
Limo convoy
and
from SeaTac?
Seattle Tacoma Airport.
yeah, they're flying in, getting a bunch of limos to travel en masse to hotel, settling in for the night, and then tomorrow is the first day of the fashion show that they will be doing here. It is at the same hotel they will be staying at, along with most of the other people. Sunday, it looks like probably about noon or so, they are going to load back up into a fancy limo convoy for the fancy people, and then going off to the dock areas to get on a cruise ship, and we'll be off into the off into the wild blue yonder, as it were.
Well, I can possibly get us some more information later on this evening, because I can just go pick up somebody in my cab down there at the airport. If one of them happens to come that way, it's better than nothing. See if maybe I can get anything out of them on the way around. That is one loose option we can try. You'd be amazed how many people get into a cab.
That definitely will work. Or potentially, if we can even get into one of those limos and actually hear inside.
That could be it too. I do look the part of a good limo driver, I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that hair, right?
Hey.
Well,
The hair is
Yeah,
stylish.
we can definitely put a hat over that. I have a feeling you can move the fro inside, correct?
I do actually. I have the nice limo driver hat, but
Well, need to make sure that is even your company even contracted for that, or is it
I don't.
Horizon entirely?
I don't know. I think that might be where some of that digital wizardry comes in, right?
Mm-hmm. Which comes from me hacking the host just to make sure. Now I probably would take a look into the hotel's host and get their information, because hacking Horizon's a very fucking bad idea.
Depending
Right,
on
right.
the information we get back from that, we could maybe even just go to the hotel
Yeah.
We
and see
could.
for ourselves.
So we're back to there. We got a good chunk of intel to have you looking for while you're doing that, I suppose. Is there any other ideas anyone can think of to try to get her? Because I just want someone to get access to her comlink if possible. So when she calls up whoever her other bitch friends are to go out and get drinks before she has to do all the hard work tomorrow, I can try and track her across the bars and be the cab she drunkenly stumbles into at some point in time.
That
If I-
actually sounds like a really decent plan.
If we can do it, that was my first thought.
That's pretty good. Does she have any known past in publicity that she's like that? I'm sure that would come up.
The CIC didn't come up with much, but that's what I was hoping they'd get me.
Yeah.
No, that
Like,
sounds
hey,
fine.
she's a fucking
actually.
drunken.
There was reports with the car accident of heavy drinking, but it is very muddled as to whether or not it was her drinking or the other car involved.
She does
Which
drink.
obviously means, of course, it was her fault, because if it was the other person, they'd have gotten all the publicity for it.
Mhm.
Yep.
She does drink, so that could be a way to extract her without her
No,
fighting.
that definitely makes sense.
So
So we can definitely do that. That actually works. But I have a feeling that I'll probably need to take a look into the Matrix host as much as possible to even try to get that information.
okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to come up with everything we would need to try to send you in for at one time,
That is definitely the case. So probably
Yeah.
get her information and get her itinerary if possible, and comlink data if they have that. I want to make sure that is she slave to the host, and which host is she slaved on? Because if she slaved to Horizon, oh boy.
Yeah.
So
So the name of the hotel, to ask your Sykes question, is the Park Plaza.
gotcha.
That's
How far away are we from the Park Plaza?
I don't know how far did you guys want to get away from it?
Not away from it, towards it, because that's the noise levels was going to kill me.
Right, but you guys went and chose the bar location.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So we were in Tacoma. So
it is up to you on how close you wanted to get to it. Since I did not
I
establish
definitely, yep, I definitely probably be less than 2 or 3 noise levels.
Sure.
So Crane so at this point in time, you kind of see Crane kind of itch the back of her neck and actually will turn on the noise canceller, and she'll do a matrix perception of that host right away, going AR.
Sure. Throw them bones. Do you guys want to do anything while you are waiting for Crane to hackify things, or do you want to just see where that goes?
I think what would make sense is for Psychedel to start scouting, using her fly spies to scout around the hotel.
Sure. go take a drive.
Take a drive. Change my car to look like like a flower delivery or something, and park on a street nearby and make with the rigger eyes.
Sure. You can easily get up and begin to head in that direction. So you have 3 hits on your matrix perception. What questions would you like to ask of the Park Plaza host?
What's the rating of the host?
Rating. Let's go with 5.
Okay. What's his firewall at?
Firewall is currently 8.
Okay. I'm trying to think of another question I can ask. Let's see. Last matrix action performed.
Probably invite Mark.
Okay. So Crane is going to start loading up her hack configuration on her deck. Let me
Sure.
do that real quick, and you guys can do something.
Yep. Mason, Stygian, or Stoner, do you guys want to do any kind of things?
I don't have a whole lot I can think of to do other than kind of contribute with the planning until about 5 p.m. And then I want to take off for the Seattle-Tacoma airport, and I am going to hang out and see which one of those particular models that weren't high-end enough to be able to score a limo ride, and see if I can give any of them a lift to the hotel.
Sure. So,
Yeah, and I'm just gonna kind of hang out and help with the planning. There's not a lot I can do unless I go inside, but I think waiting till we have more information is probably a good choice.
Sure. So as we've been going for about I'm sorry, did you have something, Stygian?
I was just gonna mention that again. I'm probably just like most of my active and knowledge skills don't really apply right now, and I was gonna wait until we actually made a plan to bring in my equipment.
To throw your dice.
Yeah, basically.
Excellent. So given as we've been going for about an hour and 15, we take a couple of minute break. So if you guys want to go grab a smoke, grab a drink, run to the bathroom, whatever it is you got to do, I will see you guys in a couple of minutes.
Sounds
I will
good.
do all of those and be back shortly.